Rodney and I met at GRE Insurance. That's where I was working there, and I saw him walking through the different cubicles, and he would always be smiling at me, and I'm thinking, who is this guy?
Walked over and reached over and reached her little cubby and
grabbed my hand, and he said, "You have a beautiful smile."
A couple of days later, she came over and approached me. She came over and asked me like thousands of questions. Who are you? Where you from? Who you with?
From time to time, we started hanging out during the lunchtime, going to grab a bite to eat and things like that. And then next thing you know, we were dating.
Most important thing was the fact that she was a beautiful person inside and out. And then she had that kind of prettiness that it didn't need a bunch of makeup to cover up. So I definitely appreciate that part. The fact that we could grow spiritually together.
He told me one day, like, look, if we're gonna do this, ain't gonna be you leaving me leaving you, all right? So if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this thing right. At that point, I truly felt that we had something that was not easily gonna be broken.
I wrote a poem, and a particular poem called Blooming. And during that poem, I took a knee and proposed to her.
So we got married, we were in love.
For one, I was young man, about 24, 25 when I got married.
Rodney told me several times that he wasn't interested really in being with anyone who already had a child.
Well, going into it, I was kind of hesitant because of the fact that she didn't have a kid. I've never dated a female with a kid, and I made that exception with her.
So he had to, learn how to deepen his voice a little bit more, get a little firmer. But as time went on, I noticed that he would chastise my son a little bit more than normal. Really, as a man should, a young boy.
We hear what a man's supposed to do. However, it was always difficult to be that man because of the fact that I wasn't allowed to be that true leader that I needed to be, because I was being challenged either from behind my back or sometimes even in my face. I
wanted to be that person that took care of Jordan. And then when Rodney and I had our son together and then our daughter together, I felt like that was part of his, so he could be the father of the house for that. But when it came to my biological son, it felt uncomfortable for him to step in and correct him, because all I would do is go right behind him and coddle Jordan.
I started handling my anger by suppressing it, by holding it in. Just talking about all the negative stuff that I saw in my household with somebody who was listening. And ended up being, a lot of times it was my male friends, but ended up being a female friend after a while. The relationship outside of the home, it was an outlet. It was a relief. And it became my go-to.
What brought to my attention that things were really not okay with our marriage like I thought it was, we went for a walk one afternoon.
I took a day off at work, and she took a day off, and we were walking. And like I said, I got to a point where I didn't care no more.
I brought up an opportunity for him and I to join a Bible study, couples Bible study. And I asked him, was he interested in signing up? And he kind of shrugged his shoulders and kind of gave me the, I don't really care. And I asked him, I'm like, what's wrong? You got another woman or something?
I didn't answer.
Dude, didn't you just hear me ask you a question?
During that time frame, I was willing to just let my marriage go.
He turns around and he says, something like that. My heart is broken because he just revealed to me that he has stepped outside of our marriage and has entertained some conversations or whatever with another woman.
From that point on, then I called pastor. He and I sat down, and they were asking me to leave the woman alone. I refused to do it.
First of all, one of the first lies that I got was that he never slept with this woman. When I found out, it was the day before I threw him this big 40th birthday party, the day before. I was fishing around for a pen, and I saw his briefcase laying around, and I'm thinking, I'm sure I can find a pen there. So I opened that up, and I noticed a birthday card in there. I see that it's from a woman, and I see the name on it, and the card was not just a simple happy birthday. It was a little bit more, like a more romantic type of card. I go upstairs, I confront him, and I said, have you slept with this woman? Oh man, it took him a minute. I cannot tell you how hard that was to hear. It was so loud. When he said yes, I didn't know what to do. Like, I wanted to run out the house. I wanted to scream. I wanted to punch something. I wanted to like take something and just bash at all the windows. But all I kept thinking about too was my kids are out there. So I remember putting my face in the pillow and just screaming for like, it was for a very long time. And he stood there and watched me. He was trying to console me, but I was telling him, do not touch me. I spent all night crying. I did not get a wink of sleep. It was a nice party. Oh, he loved it. It was nice. But I was hurting so badly inside. I didn't think I was gonna get through it.
I wasn't changing. I wasn't giving up. My heart wasn't. I wasn't really softening. Even though she was trying, she was trying to go through do everything she thought she could do. As on top of counseling, on top of church intervening.
You're not understanding. You're not seeing that there's something wrong with this. Then I got to get out of here, and I did just that. I left that evening. I went and spent the night at a friend's house right down the street. He had no clue where I was. And I slept on their couch. I didn't even sleep. I was trying to plan my escape.
I ain't about to change. I'm good. My mind had been made up, that everybody's gonna be all right.
I was gone the very next day. I didn't like who I was becoming, being in this situation. So, you know what? I was ready to go. And when I left, I had no intention on coming back.
I pulled up to the top of the neighborhood, and I sat there and watched 3 or 4 guys from the church load up stuff in the back of the truck and bring stuff out. And then see Tiffany come out, see Anaya come out. So that was a rough day, just to see my family literally gone apart.